Hi, this instructional video is for those of you who want a bit more detail about the APA research project. Remember, this assignment is the next phase of the work we've been doing throughout the term. A week or so ago, you completed the title page and reference list. So this week, the only thing you need to do is add an annotation for each resource that you had listed on your references list. There are three things that we will look for within each annotation. We want to see a summary of the main points, an examination of the strengths or weaknesses, and then an evaluation of the article. But before we get into the details of that, let me back up and we're going to review the elements that should be included on your title page and then look at the rest of this assignment. I have prepared a sample paper to show you. You see here I have the title page, which has 5 different elements. We have the running head, the page number, the title of the paper, the author's name, and the institutional affiliation or the school. Notice that in the header, the position is above the header line, not down here within the body of the paper, but it's here above the margin in the header area. Notice that the R is capitalized, the H is not, it's followed by a colon. Again, running head, not running header. The title of the paper in all capital letters follows the words running head. This is for page 1 only. On subsequent pages, we're going to have, again, here in the upper header area, we're going to have the title of the paper in all capital letters and a page number. If you're not sure how to set the paper up, I encourage you to look at the video tutorial that was provided called How to Set Up Your APA Paper. That will give you step-by-step guidance for getting this done correctly. So that's what your title page should look like. And this assignment does require a title page. So if you've got this done correctly from the previous assignment, you're all set to go with page 1. If your instructor marked corrections, please make sure that you make those changes and don't lose points twice for the same error. Okay, moving down to page 2. We have, as I said, the title of the paper in all capital letters here in the header area, along with a page number. Here on the first line of the paper, notice I've not skipped any spaces. The title of the paper, again, in title case capitalization, which means all the important words are capitalized. The title is positioned on the first line immediately following the upper margin. So do not space down. Make sure that that title is right on the first line. Your first reference entry should follow on the first line after the title. Again, all the lines of your paper are evenly double-spaced, so when I say drop down one line, I mean one double-spaced line. So let's review again very quickly the parts of a reference entry according to APA guidelines. First of all, you have the author or author's names with the first initial only, and they are separated with a comma. The last piece of the author's name should be a period, followed by the date of publication in parentheses. Remember, all of your articles must be published within the last 10 years, so nothing before 2005. Notice that every element of your reference entry is separated with a period, so don't forget those periods. The title of your article follows the date. Notice that only the first letter of the first word in this title is capitalized. That's called sentence case capitalization. 2 exceptions to that rule. The first letter of the first word following a colon or the first letter of a subhead can be capitalized, should be capitalized, and also any proper nouns that are included in your title. But since this title has no subheadings or proper nouns, only the first letter of the first word is capitalized. Again, a period separates the 2 elements, and then I have the journal title, which is italicized. The journal name is followed by a comma. Then we add the volume number with no comma, and the issue number, which is enclosed in parentheses. And notice that this volume number is in italics. Next, we have the page range. We know from this number that this article occupies pages 6 through 10 in this particular journal. The last part of your reference entry is the electronic identifier. Now, the preferred electronic identifier is the DOI. If you cannot find a DOI, or if the DOI does not link you back to the article. For instance, with this article, there was a DOI listed, and I'm going to show you where this was on the electronic entry. Okay, this is my article, personalizing feedback, etc., etc. Scroll down here to get the information, and I found the DOI, but realized when I pasted that DOI in my browser window that it did not link back to my article. Okay, I got the DOI not found. That's not a good thing. So the next best piece of information is the document URL. You don't want to go here and copy that URL because that will not take you back to your article. And it's a complicated reason that I won't go into right now, but do not copy the URL from your browser window. Instead, come here and copy this URL. Before we put it in our paper, we're going to test it again. I'm going to open a new window in my browser, and I'm going to paste that here. And it does take me directly to a copy of my article, so I know that that's a good URL to use. So I've pasted that here within my reference entry. Notice that this does not, we do not put a period after the URL or DOI because that would cause confusion and make that link not work. Remember, this link must take a reader back to your article. So try it out after you, before you put it in your paper. Make sure that you've tested it and that if you use that link, it will take the reader to the article. Okay, enough of reviewing what we've already done before. Let's move on to the actual annotation. 3 different things that your annotation should include. First of all, we're going to summarize the article. So read your article and summarize the main points. What was accomplished in this? What were the researchers attempting to accomplish with this study? The second part of your annotation is I want to know what you consider the strengths or weaknesses of the study. In this particular study, I saw 1 strength and 1 weakness, so I included them both. The final piece of information that you're going to include is just a brief statement of whether or not you felt like this was helpful information. Did the researchers really prove anything significant, or was this a little bit of a fail? So your evaluation of the research study comes last. So 3 things. I'm going to look for a summary. I'm going to look for strengths or weaknesses, or both. And then I'm going to look for your personal evaluation of that article. And that is all that there is to doing your annotation. You have the reference entry. It uses a hanging indent, just like on your reference page. Now I want you to notice that there's a slight difference in the left-hand margin between the hanging indent, between the reference entry and the annotation. APA formatting requires that this portion, the text of your annotation, be indented slightly. They said about 3 spaces from your hanging indent. So highlight your text, go to the paragraphs dialog box. In here where it says indentation, on left, you're going to put in 0.7. That's 7/10 of an inch. Your reference entry, the hanging indent is a 1/2 inch. So 7/10 will bring it over about 3 spaces. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Repeat this 1 time for each reference entry. Make sure that your resources are in alphabetical order by the author's last name, and write an annotation just like I have here for all 5 resources, and you will be done with your paper. So if you have any questions, be sure to contact your instructor. Remember that this assignment is due on Monday at the end of Module 7. Good luck.